I'm Dr. Patrice, clinical psychologist, and here I share educational videos on a variety of topics. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about integrating faith into practice. And so right now, a lot of people are thinking about things that are bigger than them. They're thinking about their purpose, their goals. A lot of people are looking for hope. They're looking for peace. And as a counselor, as a coach, as a medical provider, it is within our scope to ask a client if there are any spiritual or religious beliefs that inform their daily life, that they find as a source of encouragement. Just by asking this question, we're opening the door to a larger conversation about how the client is doing spiritually. Because something that can help build resilience is connection. And often religious communities are a source of support. They can be. For some people, it's a source of stress. And now this will not apply to every client. And so if I ask that question and someone says, oh, nothing, oh, nope, I've never been a religious person, then we just move on. If the person says that, yes, they do identify with a particular religion, I just ask, is there anything from your faith or from what you believe that you would like to integrate into treatment? And sometimes during that first meeting, they don't always know, like right off the top of their head, what they would like to do. I am a Christian that's a counselor. I don't market myself as a Christian psychologist or as a Christian counselor. And so I work with people from a variety of different faiths and backgrounds. And so when they come to my office, they're not looking for religious integration. But a strong belief I have is that in treating the person, I want to treat the whole person. And that includes their mind, body, emotions, and their spirit. Neglecting any one of those areas can limit my ability to help and support someone. Now, I don't give them religious advice or recommend things that are outside of what they believe, because sometimes the conversation we have is to lead them back to their religious community to get the answers that they really have. I'll also often ask how reaching out for help is viewed within their specific church or synagogue or within their community. How is reaching out viewed at their specific location? Because it's just good for me to know if a client feels that being in my office is going against what they're being told at church. And often what happens is I ask them to go and talk with their leader, and even someone that from the pulpit says certain things or people perceive that their church may not be open to mental health, actually talking with their religious community, they may actually find out that people are more open to seeking outside help than they originally thought. I will also make a special note for working with kids and teens. So in my practice, if I'm working with a family and if the parents have very strong faith beliefs and if the child doesn't, within my treatment, I don't force the child to incorporate faith into treatment if that's not what they want. Because often they're my identified client, they're my identified patient. And then I talk with the family about ways they can get help and support if they have concerns. So if they want to talk with their youth leader or if they want to talk with someone at their church, if there are specific concerns that the parent has. But then I do work with the child on still having respect. And so even if we disagree, we can still show respect. And so it may be a rule within the household that everyone goes to the religious ceremony on the specific day. And the child may have to go along with that, but I won't force that into treatment if that's not something that everyone wants to happen. Another tip about ethics or boundaries that sometimes comes up when looking to integrate faith into practice is, how do you handle it when someone's faith belief is actually hurting them? A lot of my work is with kids and teens. And so if I have a teen coming to me or a child coming to me, and it seems like they're using the religion to beat themselves up, to reinforce negative thoughts that they already had, I go to the parents just to say, is this what you believe? And 9 times out of 10, and thank God for me, it's actually been 10 times out of 10, what the child is believing is not actually what is being said. So sometimes depression and anxiety provide this filter where what is being said is not the message that the individual is receiving. And so there was no intent to say that someone should harm themselves if they do something wrong, or there was no intent to say that you should beat yourself up to the point of shame or any other kind of negative belief that someone is picking up that isn't actually the message that's being sent. And so that's where I often bring the family in so that they can help clarify what they believe and how they feel. I don't do that as an individual because I don't want to step on someone's toes, but I do notice when it seems like the thoughts they're having are lining up with their own thoughts, but may not actually be lining up with the thoughts of the faith or the spiritual belief that they have. When this has come up with adults, I've had them check in with someone from their ministry just to check to see, are their thoughts rational or irrational that they're having regarding their faith? There's a really great intervention that's God in my heart and God in my head, and the gap between the two. Because often in someone's religious journey throughout their life, there's going to be a time when what they experience within their faith doesn't always match with what they believe in their head. So they believe that God is loving, but in their heart, they have questions about how can these things happen? How do I cope? How do I deal with all these negative things? And then doing work around that, I've seen that be helpful for people. I've sometimes had clients ask me to pray for them in session. And something that I've learned is that people that ask other people to pray for them sometimes are having difficulty communicating with their creator. And so I encourage them to actually pray for themselves with me there to support them or to talk about any blocks that they're having with communicating. I'm also really big with boundaries, and I'm not a big touchy-feely person with clients. I work a lot with people that have histories of significant trauma, and touch is a triggering thing for them. If I'm working with a family, I'll have them hold hands, or they may hug or get close physically, but that's not something that I personally do just because of the types of clients that I work with. And then I've just always kind of been a person that likes my personal space. I also like to keep clear boundaries that I'm not able to provide them with spiritual advice, to answer difficult questions that they have. So I don't give them the answer. I help encourage them find the resources to find the answers that they may have. And I may ask challenging questions if what they're saying doesn't seem to line up with my knowledge of their religion. A good example was someone I worked with from a different faith background from me. They felt that they were broken because of a tragedy that had happened. And I went to the family, and the family did not believe that this person was broken forever based on their religion. And they really believed a lot of the same things that I believed about grace and faith and hope. And so they were able to give that to that individual. And it really did help break some of the depression or some of the negative things that were happening. And so lastly, I just wanted to mention that if you're interested in more information on this topic, I am launching a course starting May 16th that will have detailed videos and course material around this topic, and I'll be able to answer questions that people have. There's also a VIP option available where people can have a 1-hour one-on-one consult with me, or they can just participate in the course and ask questions, and I'll answer questions as they come up. I've also added a Facebook group that I will link in the comments. Thank you for watching. If you like this type of content, you can like, comment, and subscribe here on YouTube. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Those should be somewhere up here or over here. And hope you enjoy the rest of your day.